Hi everyone, it's Michelle Heron here. The reason I'm doing this video today is to show you the latest coloring book pages I've completed since the last video I filmed 4 months ago. First off, I have to say a huge thank you. Thank you so much for all of the watches, all of the likes, all of the comments. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. This video is a way to say thank you to you. It's going to be a shorter video, but I wanted to let you know to stay tuned to the end because you're going to see shy old me from behind the camera. I'm going to talk a little bit about me, why I like to color, a little bit about the way I color, and a little bit about myself individually. And if you want to stay tuned to that, a little thank you for me. So here we go. The first off is from Summer Nights from Hannah Carlson. I really love this book. I love Hannah's artwork. It's just divine. I have one page completed in this since the last time I've completed since the last time I did a video. Now this page uses pastel chalk. This is Faber-Castell soft pastels. Tend to be a little bit more choppy in the application, mainly because I rush through my backgrounds. I try not to do it, but I do. I'm terrible. I need to be more patient. But the other thing is they even though I spray them with workable fixative, they still rub off on the other page. And I spray this thing like 7 layers of workable fixative. This is done using Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. I did follow a general guideline. I looked at a few Instagram photos and tried to emulate them a little bit. And I like how it turned out. I can definitely work on it a little more. But I like it. The rose is actually using about 4 colors of red, but they were so similar that it turned out to look kind of like one big shade. But I like it. I think it turned out pretty good. Now for the next page, this was a color along. First off, I want to say that I am on Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram. My username is Gizmo Kids, so Gizmo Kids. Gizmo Kids. I only pretty much post coloring book pages. Color alongs on Instagram may be a great way to inspire you. The reason why I say that is this is the perfect example. This was from a color along by my friend Jacqueline on Instagram. This is from an artist. He published a coloring book. His username is @PowerOfColoring. I looked just before I filmed this video, and it does look like he's kind of inactive now, and his coloring book link doesn't seem to be working, but I'll still post that there because I want to give him credit for the great illustration he made. So that's the original illustration. That was a freebie for the Color to 1500 giveaway he did for his followers. And this is the illustration that how I colored it. I used Caran d'Ache luminance pencils for the skin and the hair, and then I used Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils for all the background, and then Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s for the background. I guess I should say for all of the additional elements I used Pablo pencils. And of course there's my favorite rose, and there's the tiger lilies that I grew up with. And as I can see in the corner right there, there's a little bit that I forgot to color. You know, that happens sometimes. You forget to color a little place, and there's a little bit right there I forgot to color too. But I like the teal butterfly. Teal isn't a color I use very much, but mainly because I don't really know how to use teal very well. But I like going out of my comfort zone. This is one of my earliest attempts to do skin. I like how it turned out, but I did overwork the skin. I will explain in the video. I have kind of a very firm grip on my pencils, And this, I did overwork it because I laid down too much pencil with too firm of pressure, and as you can see, it definitely overworked it, but I still like how it turned out. Pretty effective, I think. This page right here was a free Christmas page from Rita Berman, and I love her illustrations. They're fun, they're cute, they're festive, no matter what book she publishes. And I used Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 for the background. This was printed on a 9x12 piece of mixed media paper, and I used Caran d'Ache Pablos for the illustration itself, and I really like how it turned out. I did something I rarely do, which is I used a white Posca pen to add little details, highlights to the page. I normally don't do that, but I think that this illustration really called for it, and I think it's a cute, fun, festive page, and I used these for Christmas gifts last year. Speaking of gifts, this is a gift for my son. Now I'm going to stand up real fast and make sure, whoop, it's upside down. I should have looked at that first. This is a gift to my son. Make sure you can see that. There we go. This is by Kirby Roseanne's. Whoop, I apologize, I bumped the camera. This is from Kirby Roseanne's. This is from his Imagimorphia. This is from the Imagimorphia poster book. This is a gift to my son, and he requested that the eagle be colored blue, of all things. Now, blue eagles is normally not what I do, but, you know, hey, I went for it. This was colored with Prismacolor pencils. This is an older illustration, and it should have been included in my last video, but since I couldn't find the the frame, I held off on it. So we'll just see and include it in this video. So if I would do this page in the actual book, because as you can see, this is just one page of, this is a 2-page layout, which is two 12x12 pieces of paper shrunk down into a, I think this is a 10x20 frame, maybe a 12x20 frame, and it shrunk down. It is basically 1.5 pages. So they took about maybe 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of all the great doodling, and they just kind of whacked it off, which I don't like. And they took his wing over here, which you may not be able to see, and they cut it off. This, like I said, was using Prismacolor pencils. There's nothing really like Prismacolor for the great color choices. They're fun, they're vibrant, they're great. If I would do this page in the actual book, I would definitely not do the gray clouds, and I would not do the teal water. I would definitely do the eagle in really bright, I'm going to talk in tattoo terms here, I would do this in neo-traditional colors, and I would do these in colors that really pop from the eagle. Looking at this makes me want to do the double page spread. So I definitely may end up doing that in a future time when I get a little bit more time. So this is from Imagimorphia. Okay, now back to our next page. This is from Chris Garver and his book Color Odyssey. but I love the illustration. It is so detailed, it's so wonderful. I love the tattoo imagery. I'm a big, big, big tattoo fan. Next is a page from Hannah Carlson. This is from Seasons. Let me bring this down a little. This is a work in progress, as you can see. This was my first serious attempt at skin tone, an actual shading of skin tone. Hopefully you can zoom in and see it, but I used very, very soft shading in the profile up near the hairline, in the cheek area, in the jawline, in the nose. I liked how it turned out. I'm still working on the hands. I still need to work on that. The arms, I still need to work on 3D shapes, curved, rounded figures. But I like it. I use Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils for all the colored pencil in this. I really love how bright they are. They produce very saturated tones once you layer them a few times. Now before I say that, I'll say this is printed on Strathmore toned tan paper. An Instagram friend of mine suggested it because it requires less pigment from the colored pencils when you're doing skin. The other reason I did this is because this is using a gift I got for my birthday last year, which is the Fine Tech Metallic Watercolor paint. And I'm going to turn this in the light, and as you can see, the colors are just so beautiful and vibrant. I just love them. They sparkle in the light. They don't show up well without the light, but they show up beautifully reflected in the light. I have some black watercolor paper that I'm going to be using with these with these paints. I just haven't found the right illustration yet. This is a work in progress. I plan on completing it. I don't have too much more. I just have the dress and the stems and the flowers and the hair, and that's pretty much it. So this is from Hannah Carlson Seasons. The next is I have 2 illustrations that I completed from Nicholas Filbert's Fantasia. This first one is the Japanese woman in a kimono. This was completed using polychromos pencils, and this was my first use of my Caran d'Ache Luminance skin tone pencil, my very singular pencil, which was, let me see if I have it here, out of camera reach, which is this pencil right here, which is the brown ochre 10% right here. I bought it singularly. I bought it as an individual pencil, and I bought it just at my local Blick art store and used that on the skin. You don't have to buy a full set of a pencil to have that pencil. You can buy just an individual item and say, look, I use Luminance pencils on my coloring book page. Yay! And you'll get to experience what all the people are talking about with their artist quality pencils. So this, I like this page. I think that this is an earlier page. This should have been included in my last video, but I had it tucked away in this file book that I had, and I didn't find it, and I really like it, and I wanted it to be included this time. The reason why I like it so much is this was my first attempt to do a hairstyle where I tried to emulate singular strands of hair, or at least strands of hair rather than just a block of hair. For this, I used small strokes of a white Posca pen to emulate highlights in the hair, and then I used a black pen to draw in some fine strokes of hair color. And also I did a gradiated background, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can still see it, but it's an improvement for me because my gradiated backgrounds, as you know from the previous video, are not the world's greatest because I rush through my backgrounds, and I'm quite proud that I did not rush through this background, and the results show, and it shows myself, listen, I can do a gradiated background to somewhat of a success if I just slow down and try. So anyway, I am trying to stay positive. I am trying to give myself less of a hard time. I took your words to heart from the last video, so thank you very much. Now this is what I call the Ghost Warrior from Fantasia. This, as you can see, is a gift to my son. He loves fantasy. So this was the first time, oh, I apologize. This was colored using polychromos pencils. This was the first time I really tried to color anything with a 3D effect, with a curved effect. And as you can see, there are a lot of curved things in this picture. So I got my real workout for this. I also like how I did the hands, but unfortunately with this frame, I had to cut off the hands. Oh, it pains me to say it. But I also like how the flames turned out. I used about 6 colors in the flames, and I like how it turned out. So, polychromos pencils, Nicholas Filbert, Fantasia. The next book is Nightfall by Maria Troll. I love Maria Troll. You saw a lot of her book, Botanicum, in my last coloring book video. I only have 1 page completed in this one, but it's a lovely page. This is The Frog in a Teapot. This was colored with Neo Color 2s from Caran d'Ache for the background, and then Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils for the rest of the coloring. And this was an attempt at a Neo Color 2 gradiated background, and boy did I try. But I put too much water on the background. The paper is wonderful, as you can hear, it's very thick. But I put too much water on in an attempt to blend it better. It was poor technique on my part. Once again, I kind of rushed. So I got a poor result. But as you can see, I definitely tried to use a gamut of colors to give a nice gradiated effect. And in here, I think I really accomplished a real good result. But it's just up here and down here. Definitely needed to work on it a little more. I have more colors now that are a little closer together. What I like to do is I like to buy a small set, and then I like to go, because I am lucky enough to have a art supply store, a Dick, or they just call it Blick now, Blick Arts Supply, close to me within a couple of miles. I like to go there. I bring my trusty, whoops, almost dropped something. I bring my trusty color swatch book, which if you're interested, I will show you in another video. I bring that with me and I say, okay, I open it up and I say, I have these colors. What colors do I have that are close together? And I take my little test pad and I draw them out. And I say, okay, this olive green is too close to this forest green. I don't want that pencil right now. And then I'll say, okay, this olive green is kind of far away from this emerald green. I think I'll buy that one now because I don't have anything close to it. And I build up my sets that way. I kind of buy what I don't have and build it up slowly. If you're interested, one of the videos I thought that I would make is a video on the artist supplies I have, the artist quality supplies I have, because that's pretty much what I have and why I chose them and what the colors look like, and just a little brief video about that. So in case you're wondering what the pros and cons are for those from someone who is not an artist, because I am not an artist. I am just a colorist. I just like to color. So if you're interested in something like that, put it in the comments, let me know, or let me know what kind of video you would like to see, because I would like to make a little bit more videos, but I'd like to know what it is you're looking to watch. So anyway, thanks. This is Nightfall by Maria Troll. Along with that, this is also from Nightfall by Maria Troll. This is, let me make sure it's all in the frame. Yes, it is. This is the woman holding an owl, and this was a gift from my husband for, I believe it was our anniversary last year, or his birthday. I can't remember which one. And I really love this illustration. I love how it turned out. I really try hard on my husband's gifts because we've been married in 3 weeks. We'll be married 27 years. So it's special to me. So I try to trick the old lug with something nice. This was done using Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils for the hair and for the face, and then Pablo pencils for the flowers, and then Neocolor 2 for the background. Now with this one, I really love how the background turned out, because number one, I took my time with the background. I also used 4 different colors of blue, and how I did it was I lightly laid down a base color of blue, which you can kind of see right there. It's the very lightest color. Then I came in and I drew little splotches with like a little bit firmer pressure, not heavy pressure, but say like a medium pressure. And I did little patches of the 3 darker blues in little patches. And then I took a water brush and I just pounced and blended the neo colors that way. I also printed this onto Bristol vellum paper. This is the actual size of the coloring book itself. I did not take it out of the book, but I did print it on 9x12 Bristol vellum paper. Bristol vellum texture paper. I overworked the skin a little. I'll explain on my very last completed coloring book page what I do different now, because I just started trying to do something a little different now. But I really like how the mushrooms turned out. I really love those. I love how the leaves and the flowers turned out. And I do like how her hair turned out. I like how the shadows are. I wish I would have overworked it. I wish I was a little bit more skilled in the hands, but I do think they do look better than some of the previous hands I've done. So that was a gift to my husband. Now here's Botanicum by Maria Troll again. Now as of the time of this video, which is the end of August 2019, Flora, her almost latest book, has just come out on Amazon, and if I had a little bit more time to color, I would be ordering it, and I will be soon, but I just love Maria, so I'll be having her book soon. This is the Easter Bunny that I did for a color along of mine on Instagram back in April, or was it March? It's been so long, I can't remember. I think it was March. I can't remember when Easter was this year. I'm such a bad person. I apologize. This was my first attempt to do fur. I did not want to make individual fur strands. I wanted to make it look more like the effect of fur, so I kept it kind of blurry. I do like how it turned out, but it was my first attempt, so of course there's some things I'd like to change on it. I tried to keep the leaves more with a little bit of a highlight. They're not totally realistic, but that's okay. So if you are like that, consider it. But anyway, the bunny was Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. The rest of the image was Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. And the background was Neocolor too. Now, this, with her other books, the paper is very thick, but I put too much water on the paper, and as you can see, I peeled the paper and I overworked it quite a bit. And as a result, because I was in too much of a hurry. So let me bump that up a little. I apologize if it was not in frame. So anyway, it did not blend very well. I was in a hurry. I tried to get it to blend by using too much water rather than just taking my time. I'm going to follow a friend of mine's advice and to try to do the background first. I have another page over here where I totally did not do that, and I should have, because I feel like I completely ruined the page. So lesson learned on that. Now this is one page where I took my advice to do the background first, and I'm really glad I did because I did not rush it in any way. This is Intricate Ink, Animals in Detail Volume 4 by Tim Jeffs. And you saw the first two books of his in my last video. And this is a new book of his. It just came out like a month or two ago. And I've only done one page in it, but boy, what a page. So this is it. This is the page that took me like 3 weeks to do. Number one, this is colored all with polychromos pencil. And I did the anemone first, and that took me so long. The fish was fine. It took me a few hours, maybe 6 hours. But the anemone took me days and days and days and days and days, because it is so, each one of these is 6 colors, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 colors plus the shading. So there's like, I don't know, 80 of these in there. So I'm so glad I did the background first. So if you're not satisfied with your full pages, try do the background first, see how it works. But I'm really happy with how he turned out. This is a grayscale page. This did not look this hyper realistically detailed. As you can see, I'm going to show you. Tim draws these illustrations that look this detailed. I just applied color on top. It's such a lovely book. It's Nocturnes by Anastasia Eli Koldareva. This is the page I did. I love this part of the page. I completely hate the background. I'll explain why in a second. First, the good. This is done, the face and the hair are done with Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. The large succulent is done with Prismacolor pencils. The smaller succulents, the berries, and the kimono are done with polychromos pencils. I had to take a break from coloring for about 2.5 months. And when I came back, I was very determined to change the way I color. I have limitations in how I color, and I was very determined to stop letting those get in my way. And I was determined to see what I could do to change that, because I was not happy with those limitations. So this is my end result, and I'm very happy with it. It took me very long time to color this page. It took me 3 or 4 days just to do the skin, then another 2 days to do the hair, and another couple of days, and another couple of days, and another couple of days, and then, pardon my language, I fouled it all up with the background. The background is watercolor paint, and I thought, as you can hear, the paper is super thick, but it is not watercolor paper. And my mistake was that I did not put down a layer of transparent gesso before I applied the watercolor paint. That is a lesson learned. That will not happen again. Now let me show it to you in the light. This is those same fine tech marker metallic watercolor paints as I used in the earlier unfinished page, and they look beautiful in the light. They really do. They sparkle, but they hide all the work that I did on those beautiful berries. Hi everyone, now I'm going to do a little quick update, and I'm going to talk about 2 more completed pages that I just completed. This first one here is from Seasons by Hannah Carlson. This page I completed with Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 for the background, and I worked with Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils for the skin tones and for the hair, and then I did polychromos pencils for the jewel tones and for the flowers, and also for some of the hair. I really like this page. I like how the skin turned out. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's a bunch of layers of different colors. I used about 10 different pencils on this, very light layers. I learned to use the pencil kind of horizontal, sorry. Instead of holding it like this, I used the pencils like this. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. This is my latest page right here. This is from Nightfall by Maria Troll. I used Prismacolor pencils for this page. Prismacolor pencils are the first pencils that I've used. The first pencils that I owned these pencils about a decade ago, way back when I was working with polymer clay. And these pencils, as you can see, I tried harder to blend the background. It's a little better, but these are a bunch of tiny details. This took me a long time to do because they are such tiny little details, but I really liked how it turned out. So this is all of my completed pages since then, and I hope you like them. Bye! Hi everyone, it's Michelle. First of all, I wanted to take a moment to step in front of the camera this time and say a big hello and say a huge thank you. Thank you so much for watching my video, especially the completed coloring book page video. The number of watches just really blew my mind. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the subscribes. I would really love to know what kind of videos you would like to see from me in the future, because I would like to make more videos. So please just let me know in the comments below. I've learned a lot of new techniques for coloring, especially skin tones. So if you would like to see something different from me, please let me know. I would like to make a new video of it. I would also like to take this opportunity to say a little bit about myself and who I am and why I color. My name's Michelle. I've been married for 27 years now. I have 2 adult children. One is 18 and one is 22. I'm married to my best friend and soulmate. I've been coloring for about 4 years now. I got into coloring, like so many of you do, as a way for therapy, as a way to pass time during difficult situations. Coloring during the middle of the night when I can't sleep. I have a lot of chronic pain issues. I have some mental health issues. So I color to help me get through those issues. So it's really helped me a great deal. I think I've learned a lot. I would say I'm always a crafty person. I'm not an artistic person. I can't draw. I do like to paint. I do like to be creative. I'm a creative person. If you check out my really old videos, you'll see that I was on a HGTV show for my polymer clay work back about a decade ago. It has a lot of jump cuts in it, so it's kind of hard to watch. That was like the big thing for that show, so I had no control over it. But check that out if you want to see what I used to do back a decade ago. But I have a beautiful craft room that I can't use anymore, unfortunately, because it's up those stairs up there that it's hard for me to climb. So I needed a hobby or a way to pass the time that didn't require climbing up the stairs. So one day I was in the bookstore and I passed by Secret Garden. So many of your Holy Grail books, so many of the book that started it all, so to speak. And that was kind of the book that started it all. I had Prismacolor pencils from a decade ago when I worked with polymer clay. So I was like, well, I already have the pencils, so why don't I just try the book? And I've always loved working with color. I love color. That's just my thing, is color. I love color theory. I'm not that good at it, but I love color theory. So that was just my start. I'd like to also say a moment. I'm on Instagram. My username is Gizmo Kids, in case you ever want to check me out. I get some people that message me that say, oh, I get so discouraged. I can't color like, people that have really large following, or people that have a lot of coloring book videos, or people that have how-to videos. And I'm the exact same way. I can't color like people who have awesome YouTube video channels that do how-to videos or do color alongs. I can't color like they can either. And the only thing I ever tell someone is, don't color to try to match what someone does. Color for the joy and the pleasure and the therapy and the satisfaction, or whatever positive emotions you get from coloring. That should be the only reason you color. If it takes you a day, an hour, a week, a month, a year to complete a coloring book page, then that doesn't matter. The only part that matters for you is what you get out of it, not the page you produce or what it looks like or how awesome it is or how many blends you do or how many colors you use. It's not about that. It's about the joy you get from the process of coloring and the joy you get from looking back on that page and getting those positive emotions and going, wow, that was really great to color, and wow, this page looks really nice when I look back on it, and wow, look at what I've done with a bad situation and made it all positive, or at least some positive. So that's my advice to you. If you want to take it as advice, if you want to take it as just what I personally have done with my outlook, coloring has helped me get through a lot. There are times when I can't color, but there are times when coloring has really saved me from when nothing else helps, coloring does. So, if you ever, need something, coloring can be there for you. And if you ever feel down and out and, you need to talk to someone about coloring, I'm Gizmo Kids on Instagram, and look me up. But anyway, that's my little message for you. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you enjoy my other videos. Comment below, subscribe please, so you can see any other videos I produce or I publish. I guess that would be the right word. And anyway, take care. Bye.